Fathers of Reddit. In honor of Father's Day, what was your don't tell your mother about this moment? It was my weekend with my 15-year-old son. We had divorced when he was 10. We were at a pool party barbecue at my friend's condo complex and I had brought a couple sodas for him. The dude cooking the chicken overcooked it and was dry, and another friend had pilfered one of the Dr. Peppers, so my son needed something to drink. I suggested he go back to the condo and find something in the fridge. Then he pointed at the plastic pitcher with about a glass left of margarita. I said okay, but don't tell your mom. I figured he would just take a mouthful to wash down the food, but nope, he pounded the whole thing. I was like okay, well there wasn't that much in there, so no biggie. I said damn dude, didn't think you were gonna chug the whole thing. He was like, what, is there alcohol in it? I was like, yeah duh, it's a margarita. He said, but you guys used to make us kids margaritas when you had people over the house. I said yeah, virgin ones with just ice and the mixer in the blender, not the adult version with tequila in it. Well, next thing you know he's super chatty, actually talking to all my friends like a normal outgoing person instead of his usual teenage introverted small talk. Problem was it was Sunday and I had to take him back to his mom's that evening. I was planning on getting bitched out about it, or she would find it hilarious. Honestly, it could have gone either way with her. I could never predict how she would take it. Luckily she was out when we got there and I told him to just go to his room and take a nap. He already fell asleep in the car on the way there. She was none the wiser. I think sometime later he eventually told her about it and she did find it funny after all. He played you like a champ. Nah, he was never a drinker. Until the day he turned 21, then suddenly he was all into craft beer and lately fine whiskeys lol. I have to leave the price tags on my bottles so he knows what's expensive and what's not, haha. I taught him to prefer quality over quantity. When my wife's at work, I will take my daughter, 4-year-old, out for breakfast, then we will go on a small adventure around a shop of her choice and pretend whatever she wants. Last time we went to a car parts shop and rolled tires around as we were freeing the Rawlings from Monster. So far my wife doesn't believe her when she later on grasses me up. TBH, it's the only thing pre-COVID I miss doing. This brought back so many good memories of my dad, thank you. Dad was putting new roof shingles on. I was probably 3, maybe 4. I asked if I could help. He said if I could climb the ladder, sure. I was always climbing, so that was no issue. Climbed right on up and started handing him shingles. It would have been a don't tell your mother moment had she not come home from grocery shopping. After several back and forth of where are you and up here mom, she figured it out and flipped out. What is he doing on the roof? Edit, I'm not a dad, so I posted on behalf of my dad. My dad always wanted a son. I'm the last of 4 girls. So I was a huge tomboy. Whatever he was fixing, I was right there. My mom gave up on these things after a while. Fell off so many things because of this. Story about my father. When I was about 6 or 7, we were really hard up for money at the time, so we cut down on all expenses, saving change, etc. My mom would go out of town for work every other weekend. My dad would save up a few dollars over the weeks, take me to Waffle House for breakfast, go on a walk on the beach, then take me home and let me play the I Spy computer game on his work computer. He would always teasingly tell me not to tell mom about Waffle House. I don't think she would have been mad, but it was fun to have something just the two of us would do together. I love my dad red heart. I have always worked in restaurants and get home late nights. On Fridays I treat myself to takeout. Not just any takeout, the bad stuff. Cheese fries topped with gyro meat, steak nachos with guac. Always a large, always with a big bottle of beer they sell singly. When my girls were little, they would sneak down late at night and we would munch bad food and watch really bad funny movies with all the swear words in. That's really endearing. My dad used to wake me up at night when I was in middle school to watch Jackass with him. We would be absolutely wheezing with stifled laughter while my mom snored through it all. Thanks for jogging this sweet memory loose in my head, it's been a long time. One for my dad. My dad took me to my first MLB game, God I miss baseball, crying face, and told me not to tell my mom. Later found out it was because the game was a good bit outside of the travel radius set in the custody agreement. They were arguing a lot more than usual at the time, so he knew Mom would say no if he asked about it, but really wanted to take me to a game. Told me not to say anything so she couldn't use it against him while trying to take him to family court again. Luckily, I didn't say anything and we got to keep sneaking away the games until the travel radius stopped being a thing. Dad still has the tickets too. This is simultaneously super sweet and depressing. I hope your mom is in a better frame of mind now, because I want my child to miss out, because that will hurt you is pretty sickening. When I was in middle school, I was the only one willing to go shopping groceries with my dad. He didn't want to go alone, and my mom was at school studying her master's. None of my siblings wanted to go with him. We used to go to Carl's Jr., have a big breakfast, and then we went grocery shopping. Nobody knew, not even my mom, until years later. He would also let me buy any cereal I wanted. That's actually how I learned how to buy good fruit and veggies, how to order meat and fish, etc. When my siblings found out they were angry they would have gone if a big breakfast was on the menu. My mom just laughed. Nowadays they sneak to have breakfast together before going grocery shopping since we're all grown up. Edit, thank you so much for the award, Party Popper. My dad used to do this too, but not just to the grocery store trips, it was any errand he had. This could be the reason I absolutely loved doing errands as an adult. If Dad needed to go to the bank, we'd swing through McDonald's for some fries. Need to fill the gas tank? Let's grab a shake from DQ. He always said if I told my mom or brother, then we couldn't do the extra things. I'm not sure if it was because we were poor or because he always bought me junk. Regardless, I loved it. My parents helped me out with rent during college. They'd send me a check every month for $800, which was honestly really nice of them. My mom usually does it, but for whatever reason my dad did it once and spelled my name wrong on the check. Like Alicia instead of Alyssa, so it wasn't just a spelling error but also changed the sound of my name a bit equals. I didn't notice until I was at the bank in line at the teller already and I called my parents. My dad literally said the words, "Don't tell your mother about this," and didn't realize my mom was on the other line faced with tears of joy. To this day he says he was just distracted and in a rush. College was over a decade ago, but my mom still plays that at least I didn't forget what our daughter's name was trump card now and then. Female coworker of mine was miserable at work one day. I asked her what was wrong. She told me it was her anniversary, and she knew her husband had forgotten. She had preteen girls at home during summer vacation. I knew her home phone number, pre-cell phone era. I called her home phone and one kid picked up. Explained to the kid who I was and that she needed to call Dad at work and remind him it was Mom and Dad's anniversary, and don't tell Mom or Dad I called. The next day she was all smiles, gosh he did remember, brought home flowers and took her to dinner. Mission accomplished. Not a word was ever said about this. Until 6 years later, when she left the company. She gave me a hug at a farewell luncheon, and whispered, "My kids ratted you out. Thank you. You